Oh my goodness, good man fam. Why? Tell me why there just can't be traditional and modern women in the world. Why? Is it that whole you have to have good and evil, the whole yin and yang thing? We can't just have traditional and modern women. We also have to have the yang of modern females. Ugh, it's just ridiculous, man. I'm about to show you a video to where you'll see why modern females existing is just an absolute irritant to men. Because traditional and modern women actually hear men when they speak. Yes, they have some emotional things too because they're women and they have estrogen, of course. But modern females, they don't give a crap about what men say or what men think. And I'm going to explain why when you watch this clip of this video that was on the whatever podcast. Now, there's a modern female who is pretty, to be honest, unless this is just the makeup, but she was talking to these guys on the panel, and both of those guys are high quality guys. I mean, like, they both have money and they both, looks and everything, body and the whole nine paws is cool. So they would know about what they're speaking when they talk about what men want, especially since they're in the relationship space. But of course, she's a modern female. So she doesn't give a crap. Don't believe me? Watch this.
I think men can be kind of manipulative. I think some men can be.
Do you think it's manipulative to have plastic surgery and misrepresent your appearance, one of the primary things that men are attracted to?
No, I mean, if I'm like,
But
hey, I have a boob job.
Let me ask you a
what?
question.
What's wrong
Let me
with
ask you a
it?
question.
Women wear
Are
makeup.
I wanna
You
go-
cut your
hold on,
hair.
let me go around the table on this.
What are you talking about?
Are you guys attracted to physically strong men?
Yeah,
Sure.
Are you attracted to men who have a certain degree of muscular development? Maybe you guys might not like the super roided up steroid bodybuilder guys, but
Yeah.
are you attracted to men who are physically, they got some muscle? I think most women are.
Yeah.
Now, let's say that a guy wore a muscle suit. You didn't know about it. You thought he was just kind of ripped, and then he's taking it off. Would that be a deception?
Sure, but I'm sure most guys would probably look at like some of our tits and be like, "Oh, they're probably fake." Like, I don't know, what's the big deal with
sometimes
that?
I think I have
mean,
a
we're all
good-
wearing makeup, we're all wearing eyelashes. Like, I mean, there's some sort of deception there.
Well,
like,
there's a
if you want
difference.
to call
though.
it
There's
that.
you've got when it comes to something that's this is like performative to some degree in that you've been invited on a podcast. It's very common in film to wear some degree of makeup, but in your day-to-day, I assume you still wear makeup too. When it comes to the muscle suit thing, though, that would be a deception.
It'd
The
just be
reality
kinda
is
weird.
What's that?
It would just be weird.
And okay,
It'd just be
cool.
kind of strange.
Here,
I
let me
think.
use a more realistic.
Not like, oh my god,
example.
you
Let
lied to me.
use
I'd just be like, why
do
are you
guys
doing
like
that?
Let me use a more realistic example. Do you guys like tall men?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So let's say
matter.
you met a guy on a dating app. He said he was 6 feet. Turns out he's wearing 4 inch. I forgot lifts in his shoes. Would you feel that was a lie? That was deceptive? Turns out you're the same height.
Plastic surgery and makeup is a lot more normalized than a man wearing 4-inch.
It is,
like,
but it doesn't.
boots.
It is, but it's a normalized lie and deception.
And that's okay. And some men like it, and some men are okay
I
with
think
it,
most men.
and women are okay
I
with
would
it.
argue most men would actually prefer women with minimal.
I would
no
argue
makeup,
the opposite.
No plastic
actually.
surgery.
I would argue the opposite.
Yeah.
You would argue.
I would highly argue the opposite. Yes.
How the freak are you going to try to tell men that they don't prefer little to no makeup and no plastic surgery? How the freak you going to try to tell men that when men are the ones who determine what men want? Oh, right. It's because the sisterhood only talks to and listens to the sisterhood. And this obvious modern female has probably never had anybody tell her anything in her life that was against what she thought or felt, especially probably because of her looks. See, when you have chicks that are pretty, they don't actually develop a personality that would help people to want to be around them because they usually don't have to because they get everything that they want simply because of their looks.
That's true.
And here you have a man telling her most men would probably prefer this. And he's correct. And what does she say? Nah, I'm going to argue that they don't. And why do you think she did that? Oh, right. Because she's basing her argument on the actions of men in the sexual marketplace via the sexual part. She's not basing it on men actually wifing chicks, on men actually cuffing chicks. She's not basing it on that. Why? Oh, because she wouldn't win the argument then. She has to base it on something that would allow her to win the argument or at least have a chance at the battle. See, if she was to base it on the other thing, then guess what would happen? She would have to come up with an example of somebody getting wifed who was a person who really loved all of that makeup and the guy she was with loved all that makeup too. Do you think she'd be able to come up with that example? Of course not. Just like the BBLs. They'll swear that men want chicks with BBLs. No, boo-boo, you're still thinking about the sexual part of that. Men want to have sex with females who have BBLs. Men want to have sex with females who have plastic surgery. Men want to have sex with females who have that type of makeup on. Because it's just some random, raw, ratchet, raunchy fantasy. That's why. But do you think they'll wife them? No, because that's not what men want. See, the one part about which we're speaking is actually keeping you around. But hey, if you think that men, quote unquote, wanting to have sex with you and giving you all this attention is men, quote unquote, wanting you, then as Captain Jack Sparrow said, shout out to Johnny Depp,
Keep telling yourself that, darling.